Smickles. This is a bit of an experimental thing. And anybody that watches this, if you have an ASMR channel or a YouTube channel or whatever, I invite everyone to do their own thing in the same vein. Every good boy does fine. This is going to be a Draw My Mind, which is an idea from the Hermetic Kitchen. Draw my mind. And mine is going to be on music. And I'll go ahead and do that. Every good boy does fine in the face that goes in between the space. I started out playing music when I was really young. I was probably about 4 years old, maybe 3 or 4 years old, somewhere in there. And my grandma taught me how to play piano. And what she would do is she would number all the notes for me on a little card. And I honestly don't know what that would sound like. It'd probably sound like crap. But what she would do is she would draw out these little cards, and they would line up perfectly with the keys on the piano. And she would say that would be like a chord. That would be the first 2 notes in the song. And then maybe the bass note down here. And then she would make the next bass note and the next chord. Things like that. And this would go on up to about 20. She'd teach me phrases that were about 20 steps altogether. Left hand, right hand parts. It was really fun. And I got pretty decent at that, but I never really knew how to read music. I was just reading these little cards that my grandma made. And she was really good at reading music. She could sight read all day long and just, pick up any piece of music she's never played before and randomly just start playing it, which I thought was really cool. But, I did that for 4 years old to, say around 12, maybe 13. And that's when I started getting into guitar. But before that, right about in there, I'd say right at 12, I started playing trumpet. And I love me some trumpet. It was fun. I was first chair in middle school, which wasn't a big deal, but whatever. I was first chair. I liked it. I kind of shared that chair with this one little chode. I didn't like him. I forgot his name, but yeah, me and him used to always compete. He could sight read better than me, but once I learned a piece, I could play it better than him because he was really kind of lazy, and I was always an overachiever. But yeah, that was middle school band. And I got into a little bit of high school band, and we did stuff like, did a little bit of marching. But yeah, marching was not fun. Oddly enough, it reminded me of the grandma thing because all the little marks on the ground were numbered. Like you go here, and you go here, and you go here, and you go here, and you go back to here. And that is just annoying. Did not like marching band at all. But the songs we played were cool. They were like, Peter Gabriel, stupid crap like that. But it was fun. Or Phil Collins, not Peter Gabriel. But yeah, wasn't very fun. Like I said, I loved the music, but did not love the act of marching. It was definitely not my cup of tea. And it didn't last very long. I think I went to high school for probably a month or 2 and dropped out. And then all this became destroyed and replaced with guitar. I got 6 strings of fun, frets everywhere, tons of notes, blah, 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 blah. You can tap on it like a piano, you can play it like a guitar, traditional. You can play bass parts on it, you can slap funk on it, it's great. But what I did was I took my trumpet experience and translated it to guitar, which is fun. I started out with learning Nirvana songs, and I would play them on the top string of the guitar, and that was fun and all, but I had to jump around a whole lot. So I finally learned how to put those on the top 2 strings. And then I realized, well shit, I'm playing bass. So I took a step back from guitar and went to bass. Bam, bam. 4 strings. A little bit different. Much simpler. Much more broken down. Easier to learn. Easier to play. But also harder to play. Because the frets go from being about this far apart to being about that far apart. So that makes it different. A little bit more challenging. And then when you go back to having the smaller frets, it's freaking equally amazing, because now it's all easy. And then if you go further down to like a mandolin or like a ukulele, that's even better. Tiny, tiny little frets. So you feel like a superhero. If you can do a swoop, if you can do that pretty quick, then you can do that pretty quick, which means you can reach the whole freaking neck on a ukulele. Whole thing at your disposal. Mandolin, same thing. Violin, same thing. But also, being able to do this, you can do it on a cello. Cello, no frets. Smooth. Fun stuff. That's about 12 to 20 years old. That was my game. I bounced around between guitar, bass, a little bit of cello when I could. Every once in a while I played a little bit of piano, but I never owned one, so wasn't all that great. And with guitar, my favorite, I guess you could say, shape. Well, let's see. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do some tablature. But my favorite scale is this one. 0, 2, 3. 0, 2, 3. Let's see. I almost need a guitar for this. 0, 2, 4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Open. Huh? Yeah, I need to double check on the guitar. Oh, I screwed it up already. No, I didn't. Yeah. So, let's see. Da, 2, open, 1, 3, open, 2, 3. And if I remember that correctly, that is the Dorian scale. Pretty sure it's the Dorian. I really only mess with Dorian and Aeolian. And what I remember of the Aeolian is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You skip this one, which if you don't skip this one, you can go open 1, 3. But you usually skip this one. You go open 2, 3, and then open 2, 3, open 2, open 1, 3, open 1, 3. Okay. Now I could tell you all the notes for those, but it would take me a while. Let's see. That's a A, B, C, D, E, F, F sharp, G, G, B, B maybe? No, that's a B, so that's a A? Oh, yeah, that's an A, octave of A. And B, C, D, E, F, G. And that right there is Aeolian. If I'm not mistaken, that might be minor scale. It's either Aeolian or minor. I can't remember. It's one of those things that don't really matter though. But between these two scales, you can pretty much get anything you want. Oh, also this other scale, the major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's minor now that I think about it. That's minor scale. Then you got major scale, which is open. Oop, did that wrong. Wait. Well, you can do this part, kind of like you did this part earlier, but it doesn't really matter. Just going to skip that part and go open 2, 4. Open 2, 4. Open 2. I have to get the guitar back on this one. I forgot. Probably wrong on this, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Open the 2. Dun, 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 2, 3. Open 2, 3. And then the 5. Something like that. Major. I don't really play much major scale stuff, to be honest. Major's not my forte. Minor is definitely the one I like to play a whole lot. And also Dorian. Love me some Dorian. Because with Dorian, what I'll do is I'll take this note, which is the root, and I will figure out if I'm in a minor scale, say starting here, that's an A, so I'll move this up to the 5th fret, and moving that up to the 5th fret makes that 7, 8, and you just bar from the 5th fret up. Imagine this is the 5th fret, now it's just open 2, 3, open 2, 3, open 2, 4, open 2, open 1, 3, open 2, 3, all starting on the 5th fret, so add 5 to all those numbers. That's what goes on there. So, once I got this kind of down and in my head, I started writing my own riffs. And one of the things that made writing my own riffs fun was that I barely had a grasp on scales. So there weren't any really imposed rules, which is one thing I kind of learned from Dimebag Darrell. Dimebag Darrell's fucking badass. One of my true heroes of guitar. And his whole thing was there are no rules. And simplicity is power. So, I used to do a whole lot of, chugga 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 darn. Little riffs like that. But then I got a little more complicated. And I would have different tunings. So this is a dadgad. Or dad, D-A-D-G. I would do drop D a lot, and one of my favorite little riffs was Dom. Let's see, 10, 12, and a little hammer on there. Da-da-dun, Dom. And then that was, see, 14. No, wait, no, that was 11. 12. Da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I don't know, anyway. Little bouncy riffs like that. They were almost bass lines really, but I would kind of force them and add some chords here and there and jumps and stuff like that to make them guitar parts. But yeah, like I said, they were really basic. And I'd have notebooks like this composition full of freaking just weird riffs and stuff like that, and none of them were really intelligible after I wrote them down. Like I would have to really record because, where's the quarter note in that? Where's the eighth notes in that? Where's the rests? There's all kinds of weird little things going on here, and like this is tripleted out, and dots after everything, and it's there's no way to really tell how to play this just by looking at the numbers. You could figure out where to put your fingers, but there's no notation, which is always kind of a limitation I've always struggled with. But I plan on learning how to do it a little better as time goes on. Just need practice. I need to start doing it some more. But yeah, learning music is like a language, because when you start out, you've never heard music before, and you listen to a song and it just kind of hits you at all angles. Everything's really noisy. It's hard to pick things out, much like a language that you never heard before. You have a really thick filter. It all just gets blocked out, and all you hear is just maybe a little bang, just a little single noise. But then, you listen to that song again, there's little gaps. And now, things are actually getting through. And you're starting to connect dots, starting to see shapes. And now, instead of just a straight line, you hear this. You start to get little shapes. And you can see how they cross. Some go up and some go down at the same time. Sometimes they revisit parts from the beginning at the end. Or, at the end, take a piece from the beginning, and then a piece from the middle, and just keep going. And then the next time you hear it, everything makes it in. And you can hum any part you want, sing any of the harmonies that you want, and you have this beautiful piece of music. All the ins and outs. Now, not to put anyone down, but a lot of people never get to here. Most people get to about right here. And maybe not all the way. Maybe they just get about half of an understanding of the song. And some people stay right here forever. It's always just a over, stimulating noise. And there's really no way to tell what's going on. None of the pieces ever really make sense, but maybe it makes you happy. And you dance to it. This is dance music. This is maybe alternative rock. And this is death metal. It's also classical, because that's where most death metal comes from. Modern classical. Lots of interludes and outros and intros, leads, harmonies, riffs, eagle eyes. Ba. I think I'm going to end it here. And this has been Draw My Life on Music. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you want me to do more, put it in the comments. I'll do more. These are fun. I'm going to talk to the chat room now. Sleep well.